Hello, 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 Christmas Flixers. Welcome back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks, where we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. I'm KL Brady, and I'm so happy to be back, guys. This has been a good Christmas in July. I don't know about you guys, but I have been totally locked in. Well, as much as I can be. I still have to do the whole 9 to 5 thing, but when I'm able to take breaks, when I'm on my lunch break, after work, I have been tuning into Christmas in July as much as I can. So I'm excited. I'm happy about. I'm happy about the selections they have. I wish they had more Christmas classics, I guess, if I had any complaint. But then, on Fridays on Hallmark Family, they play the Christmas classics while Christmas in July is also playing. So they have 2 channels of Christmas movies on Fridays. I don't know if you knew that, but if you didn't, and you want to catch some of the classics, you can always turn to that channel. So the past couple of weeks, they've had some pretty good classics on. Anyway, one thing I did, so I guess this is part testimony time, right? And if you are not interested in the message, you can feel free to skip ahead to St. Nick's shoutouts. But I found this piece interesting. I was going to put it in the ho 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 holiday headlines, but I thought this was actually worth a quick discussion. So Hallmark, if you love Hallmark, you know the name Emily Uluru. She just had an interview with Entertainment Now recently where she talked about her acting journey. And no matter who we are all called to something, right? And, Emily's called to act, I'm called to write. You can be called to do whatever. You can be called to cook or write or act or, bake cupcakes, whatever. It was funny though that, in our callings, and I will refer to myself, but if this applies to you, you can think of it for yourself. There have been many times in this journey where I have been confused. So early in my writing journey, I don't think I've discussed this with you guys, so I will now be totally upfront, right? So in the beginning of my journey, I was doing really well. I had a contract with a major publisher. I put out a couple of books. My first 2 books were under contract with the Big 5, right? And so when I got the contract, I thought, this is going to be wonderful. My career has kicked off and it is wonderful and everything. And then my sales were decent, but I was a mid-lister. I was not a New York Times bestseller. And so my career went, the mid-list career. So after the 2 books, I was dealing with the death of my mom. My mom passed away. I really kind of I thought I lost my sense of humor. I think I wrote my funniest books during this time. Now that I have a chance to look back on it and read the books, I'm like, these were hilarious. But inside, I just kind of felt a little dead, And so I did not feel like I had a sense of humor. So I wrote another genre. I sent that genre to my editor from the Big, and she offered me way less of an advance for that. And I got to thinking. At the time, I was thinking, well, first of all, this is way less. She did so with good reason. So, none of the blame goes to her. But at the time, I was just like, I don't even know. I think with some publishers, it's the expectation that if you write a thing, you always write a thing, right? That's just who you always are. You don't get to flip flop and do the thing. And so by the time that the editor made me the offer, I was thinking, I don't know. I'm confused about what genre really makes me happy right now. I really just want to kind of flip-flop around and figure out what I want to do. So I didn't take the offer. And I have been for the last umpteen years, right? I have been kind of flip-flopping around trying to figure out what I want to do. And but there have been times, so I chose that. I 100%, it was me, I chose it. And so I had to go to that path. Something was just pressing on me saying, don't go that way, go this way. And I'm actually glad for the journey I've had. However, there have been a lot of frustration. Lots and lots and lots of frustration along the way, to the point where I was in a writing group yesterday, and I was talking to someone, and I told them, there have been several times in my career that I have quit, quote unquote quit, right? Usually lasts for about a day, maybe two at the most, right? And I'll be like, this is not what I'm called to do. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm no longer a writer. You can't uncall yourself when you've been called. You can't. So it'd be 2 days, and I'd stop and I'd be like, nope, I'm not writing. And then the characters would go crazy in my head, and then I would ultimately sit down and write again. But I would feel so bad about being frustrated, and then now I have come to realize that it is 100% okay to be frustrated in your journey, as Emily has proved out. To me, like, I consider Emily one of the core Hallmark actresses, right? To me, like, when I see her in a role, she's like one of those people where I know that the movie's going to be good. And she said, she wrote this out on her Instagram page, that over the last 16 months, she's been in 40 auditions and she's only gotten one role. I can't even imagine Emily Ullerup trying for something 40 times and then only coming down with one role. And wouldn't that make you like second guess like everything that you ever did? Like, I wouldn't even say like half. I would say like 5 roles would have been like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But if I go through 40 auditions and I come down with one, I'm probably second guessing whether that I have the talent that I think I have, if I'm her, right? And so she has this to say about it. She says, nobody tells you the ratio going in. If they did, half of us would quit before we started. There's no version of this where better always wins. The business isn't a meritocracy. How about that? It's alchemy. Truly, even in writing, it's alchemy. It's not meritocracy. And you rarely get to see the recipe. This is the hardest part for me. No matter what work I've put in, the resume I've built, the business seems to run on, I don't give a darn. She didn't say darn. I'm saying darn. Now bend down and kiss the ring. I mean, she was clearly having a frustrated day, okay? We're all allowed to have our bad days, which this just reminded me, like, we're all allowed to have our bad days. We're all allowed to have our days where we are frustrated. Some of us don't go on Instagram and say that, but I think it was really good for her to do it, because she is somebody you would never think would go through 40 auditions and only get one role. Like me, I hear that, I'm like, what in the crazy pants were you going for? Because I can't see you going through 40 auditions and only getting one role. And yet she did, and she got frustrated, but she shared it. And I think it's great for her to share it. You know why? Because it lets everybody know that even people that you think are the most successful and never have any problems actually also have problems too. And their journeys aren't easy either. And so I believe truly that you're allowed to go, you go through frustrating things on your journey 100%. Like, you're allowed to express that frustration about your journey when you go through difficult things. What you're not allowed to do is quit. And this is what I've learned over the years, is that you're not allowed to quit. When you're called to do something and you really believe you're called to do it, and you're not called to do 20 things. I don't believe people are called to do 20 things. But I do believe people are called to do maybe 1 or 2 things. And if you're working in that lane of the 1 or 2 things you believe you're called to, the one thing that you're not allowed to do is quit. But you're allowed to be frustrated, and you're allowed to express that. And Emily sure did. So if you're interested in like reading more, you can check out her Instagram page. But I just wanted to leave you guys with that message. It's be frustrated, but don't quit. At the end of the day, don't quit. I've quit, quote unquote, like I said many of times, which is I've allowed myself to be frustrated for a day or 2, and then I get back to work. As simple as that. You just get back to work and you keep going. It was so funny. Like, even I think I've told you guys about the journey I had early on when I started the show. I had a producer reach out to me about one of my books, and I never heard. We went through the process. They did. I think it was a treatment or something. I can't remember what that is, where they kind of write down the story for the networks, and then they shop that product to the networks, and so I had one of those frustrating days. I woke up, I was like, I quit. And then I turn on my computer and I get a message from the producer saying that they wanted my book for a movie. And I was like, what? That completely blew my mind. At first I thought it was fraudulent. Like, I thought it was a scam. I thought, here go those Russians again. Or the Nigerians, right? I thought, oh, yep, here they go again. And no, it was real. This guy, he was like a Emmy winner. I did a FaceTime call with him. He had like 3 Emmy awards in back of him. I couldn't stop looking at him. Over the course of, I would say maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe I would get messages here and there. Oh, we're taking it here, we're taking it there. Can you meet with this person? Can you meet with that person? And so, like, I really, I was kind of excited. It was because it came on the heels of me believing that it was time to quit, and I didn't quit. However, like, that never came to fruition. And so then I thought, well, you can get frustrated about that, but what it did was it made me stick it out. Like, I'm even realizing this as I talk through this with you guys, is that what it did was it got me out of that feeling sorry for myself mind frame that I was in at the time. And what it did was make me say, no, I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going. If I do this enough and I do this well enough, because things are going to happen. And so that's what I did. And I haven't stopped and I haven't looked back. And even though that process didn't go as I hoped it would, I haven't quit, and I feel good about not quitting. And so I think since then, I've probably written 3 or 4 books. I think I'm on my 4th right now. I'm writing my 4th I'm writing my 4th book post that period, so I'm excited. And here's the thing. I get so much joy out of writing. Honestly, that's what matters the most to me right now is me having joy in it. If I get joy from it, then I hope that translates to the readers and that they get joy out of reading my book. And I've always said, if there's just one person who reads the books, whose life it helps, whose life it changes, who gets the humor, who maybe makes a right decision by getting to see how flawed my characters are. Like, if one thing happens, that's a blessing. That's not only a blessing for me, it's a blessing for them. And it's a message I feel like I was supposed to tell. And it usually is many more people than that, right? I usually get to impact many more people than one. And I'm grateful for that, so be frustrated in your journeys. The bottom line is, be frustrated in your journeys. You're even allowed to quit for a day or two, but get back at it. Don't quit forever, especially if you're called to something. There's something you're supposed to do. And until you do it, you will always have this yearning to do that thing. And I keep having that yearning to do that thing. I don't think I've done what I'm supposed to do yet. So that's why I keep going. And that is that. So anyway, let's get to the show. I've got so much. I don't think Emily listens to my show, but if she did, I want to thank her for that message today, because let me tell you, sometimes you kind of lose sight of it. You get in your own bubble and you forget other people go through stuff too. It's not just you. You're not the only one who has frustrations about things, You're not the only one. And so I'm telling you my frustration, and hopefully that lets you know that whatever you do, it doesn't matter what you do, whatever you feel called to do, that you're going to be frustrated. You're not going to have results that you want all the time. Just because you're not getting the results, it's not yours to quit. That's what I feel like. It's not my calling to quit. So anyway, so we've got a lot going on this week. First of all, we have I think we're going into the 3rd full week of Christmas in July. So I'm excited about that. And then we had our 2nd Christmas movie, which is Old Little Christmas Market. So I'll do a review and rating for that. And then we've got about a handful of Christmas movies coming out during the countdown to Christmas phase that I also want to share with you guys. So that's it. Let's get ready to roll. First things first, St. Nick's shout-outs. As always, I'm beginning the shows with shout-outs to listeners. This is my favorite tradition, honestly. Guys, sometimes I'm just like, this is wild that I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing this show, and I'm in the 7th season. Seven, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is my 7th season of doing this. This is wild to me sometimes that I have done the show and doing the show. It's crazy. But also, it's like one of the best things, I truly love, talking Christmas movies with you guys. It's wonderful. So today I'll give you the shorter version of the St. Nick shoutouts. I know I said during Christmas in July I was going to do some of the longer versions, but honest to goodness, every time my schedule calms down, I think in my mind, then something blows up. And so several things have blown up this week. And so I'm hoping, I am seriously hoping that that things will calm down this week, and next week, I can do the longer version of St. Nick shoutouts. But until the week comes, until the craziness calms down, it's like, no, it's not going to happen. All right, so I'm going to give you the short version. I'm going to pick 5 listener locations. And remember, I don't know who you are, but I know where you live. All right, the first one is Kingfisher, Oklahoma. Kingfisher, Oklahoma. Thank you for joining the show. Number 2, home of my Washington Commanders, Ashburn, Virginia. Thank you, Ashburn, Virginia, for listening to the show. Number 3, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Calgary, Alberta. Thank you for joining the show. Number 4 is Scottsdale, Arizona. Scottsdale. Thank you so much for listening to the show. And number 5, White House, Tennessee. White House, Tennessee. Thank you so much for listening to the show. Okay, now it is time for Ho 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 Holiday Headline. I'll be honest, I haven't really found a whole lot of news, Christmas movie news. Not that I haven't already talked about. That's what you get for doing shows every week, Carla. Is that there's the current news. Now I have to tell you, there's a slew of emails that I have to go through from the beginning of the year, when I was just absolutely not checking mail, not looking over. As a matter of fact, when I would see Christmas movie news or the holiday movies or whatever, I would skip those emails. I was my brain was just done for some reason. I don't know. I was doing a lot. So anyway, I'm back at it. But so there are only a few things that I have to talk about Ho 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 holiday headlines today. And now that I'm back in the rhythm, I'll go back and check a lot of those movies and see what movie news that I have missed. But for today, I wanted to cover a couple things. First of all, last week I told you guys about Pluto TV having their Christmas July movies. Well, it was completely accident. I have 2 Samsung TVs, and I went on the Samsung TV, which is their app. If you have a smart TV, there's a Samsung TV app, and it's all free movies. You have to sign up and everything, but it's all free movies. So they have on Hallmark Movies and More. That's channel 1220 on Samsung TV. It's Hallmark Christmas movies. So on that channel, you can see the Christmas classics. I've yet to see a new movie on there. Over the weekend, they played the town that Christmas forgot. So I don't know, that's kind of one of my favorites. I don't know if you guys remember that with I think Lauren Holly played in that. So the town that Christmas forgot, and a lot of other older movies. Oh, and one I saw yesterday or the day before yesterday, one of the two, was Santa Suit. Do you guys remember that? That was one of the early Hallmark movies. That was one of those movies where if you watched the Hallmark Channel 4 years ago, I mean in 2013, 2014 time frame, this was one of their main movies. And so many of those movies that actually got us hooked into watching Hallmark, they don't play them anymore, or they play them on Hallmark Family. So it's interesting how things evolve. But if I could just say something to Hallmark, hey Hallmark, if you're listening out there, we like the classic stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of us. I don't know. Well, at least I do. I don't know about everybody else, I guess. I can't speak for everybody else, but I know I like the classic stuff. So if you can slip some of that in there with some of this more contemporary stuff, I would be thrilled. So the next piece of news is around Summer of Santa. So you remember I told you guys about Summer of Santa, and I honestly thought Summer of Santa was going to be on the Lifetime movie network. Well, it has not been. I've been checking. I've been checking ahead. I've been checking from day to day, and they have not had any Christmas movies on the Lifetime network. But what they do is have like a full selection of Christmas movies on the Lifetime app and the Lifetime movie app. So if you want a Summer of Santa with the Lifetime movies, you're going to have to subscribe to the app to get that. Now, one thing about it, Lifetime subscription is like ridiculously cheap. And if you get it on one of those trials, I want to say it was like $5.99 for like 3 or 4 months. I mean, you can't beat that. You can watch all the Christmas movies that you want to watch. So if you like Hallmark Christmas movies, Lifetime Christmas movies, which I do, then you can always watch some more of Santa on the Lifetime app. Now, of course, Hallmark has its Hallmark station. It's got a Christmas movie station in Hallmark Plus. So you can watch 24/7 movies there. But you can also watch, they have their Christmas movie section inside the app that you can also look at Christmas movies from whenever. I mean, they go back, I can't even remember. I want to say they go back to their 2014, maybe 2013 Countdown to Christmas. It goes back far, and they have all the movies listed for every Countdown to Christmas from today on backwards. So I think it goes back to at least 2014. I think, if you can believe this, The 9 Lives of Christmas came out in 2014. Think about that. Think about how long that is. That movie has been out for 12 years. 12 years. And I watch it faithfully. Every time it comes on, I watch it like it's never shown before. So if you don't have Hallmark app, this is the time to get it. It's like half off. I want to say it's like there's a code. It's like Summer Dream or something like that. Summer Dream 25, Summer Dream 26 or something. And you can get 50% off. If you put it in Google or one of your AI apps and you look up what's the code for Hallmark Plus, I'm sure you can find it. But it's well worth it for me. That's why I maintain the app after all these years. There's a lot of little things that I pay for. Like, I'll see the payment come up in my email or whatever, and I'll be like, wow, I'm still paying for that. And wow, that costs $80. But if I think about how much I use some of the things that come up, like Hallmark Plus, then actually, if you look at it from month to month or even day to day, the cost versus what I get out of it is so much more. So if you're interested, Hallmark Plus is running that deal through the summer, and you can get 50% off. So, all right. So the next piece of news is, oh my gosh, I was so excited to see this, is Enchant Christmas is coming back. Now, Enchant Christmas, I posted pictures of it, or at least I hope they showed up. I actually have not gone back to the post to look at it. I was kind of getting spinny wheel of death, but I was finally able to hit post, but I don't know if the pictures came up. So that's on Twitter. I don't think I posted that on Instagram. However, the last time, not last year, but the year before, is when we went to Enchant in DC. It was at Nationals Park. And let me tell you, that was so much fun. Now, at the time, they did it in conjunction with Hallmark. So it was Enchant with Hallmark. This year, it is just Enchant. There's no Hallmark. But they've added like a bunch of different things, different events and stuff that goes with it. But they've, Hallmark, as you know, has its own Hallmark experience in Kansas City. And so I think that Hallmark kind of bowed out of the partnership so that they could do their own experience in Kansas City. And so the tickets for the Hallmark experience went on sale, and the tickets for Enchant have gone on sale. So obviously, I purchased my tickets to, it's a little more effort to go to Kansas City than it is to just go down to Nationals Park. And I should be on Christmas vacation at the time. So I'm excited to head back to Enchant this year. So it's at 4 cities: Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Washington, D.C., and St. Petersburg, Florida. So if you're in any of those 4 areas and you want to go visit, pick up your tickets and go see Enchant. I can tell you, you will not be disappointed. The light sculptures, I don't know, if you're like me and you're a Christmas light lover, there's no way you don't go to it Enchant. It is so amazing and beautiful. It's amazing what they can do with lights. It was one of the most stunning things that I've seen with Christmas lights. And they have a little maze, and you have a little challenge that you go through to get stamps and all this stuff. And it was so much fun. And so I can't recommend it enough. That if you can't get out to Kansas City to the Hallmark experience, where I'm sure, they have major stuff going on out in Kansas City, checking out your local Enchant event. You'll enjoy that. You will get a lot of enjoyment out of that. So I'm excited for that. And then my last piece of news is on Holiday Touchdown, A Bear's Love Story. So I think in the last episode, I talked a little bit about Holiday Touchdown, Bear's Love Story, and how I thought it was going to kind of be a distraction. And I did not think that Ben Johnson, the coach of the Chicago Bears, was going to go along for that ride. Well, turns out they announced it, and I thought, they couldn't gear up to film the movie until later in the year. Well, they're filming it right now as we speak, and the stars of the movie have been announced. And so I'm going to share those with you because I love both of these stars. So the stars of Holiday Touchdown, the Bears movie, are Lindsay Fonseca, who we know I love. I think her first movie that I remember from Hallmark was Next Stop Christmas, and that was my number 1 movie that year. I loved that movie. And then my number 1 movie from last year was Merry Christmas, Ted Cooper, which Robert Buckley starred in. And guess who is in this movie? Robert Buckley. Yes. So 2 of my number 1 movies from Hallmark passed. 2 of the stars from my number 1 movie are going to be in A Bear's Love Story. So with that happening, I'm forced to actually get on board, and I'm forced to love this, no matter how much I want to or don't want to. So there you have it. I am all in for A Bear's Love Story, and I can't wait to see I tried to find out what the storyline's going to be and all of this stuff. I wasn't able to dig anything up, so we'll see what that ends up being. However, I think I saw the announcement on Synthetic Cinema, and they've done a few movies, and I think they have one in I think they have one in Christmas in July. I want to say it's Oh Little Christmas Market. But anyway, regardless of whether, that's actually the right entertainment studio, the fact is that they're going to be doing the show. So I'm really excited about that. That's going to be fun. All right. So anyway, now that's the end of Ho 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 holiday headlines. Now we're going to get into the ratings and reviews with Old Little Christmas Market. All right, so Old Little Christmas Market was our movie of the week. Old Little Christmas Market is about a gifted miniature artist and a talented yet unfulfilled architect who clash on opposite sides of a deal threatening a beloved community holiday market. All right, so it starred Catherine Burrell and Stephen Huszar, Paula Boudreau. Okay, now here's the thing, and Paula Boudreau is Cat Burrell's mother in this. All right, so let me give you my kind of rating and review. I like this movie. Let me start off with that. I did like this movie. It did call back to like the old trope of the big company coming in to buy the small holiday market because it's on this valuable piece of land. So you have the big bad developer coming in to visit the little people, right? And to take their valued land that they use for community. And so you have the community coming against the developer. And so there's this kind of meet cute in the beginning of the movie where Catherine and Stephen Huszar meet, or the characters meet. And then so you think, okay, yeah, they seem like kind of a match made in heaven. And then you find out that they are on opposite sides of this. So, yeah. Here's the thing though. We've seen this before, right? We kind of know how that ends, which is kind of good in some ways, right? And one thing I haven't seen, I guess, in terms of careers, is I have not seen like someone who makes miniatures like Cat's character did in this movie. So you haven't really seen somebody make miniatures. However, I would say for me, I would have been more happy with the movie had they found a career they hadn't done before, but they didn't really have a twist in the movie where you're like, oh wow, I didn't expect it to go like that. You know what I mean? Or I didn't expect that to happen. I would like the unexpected part to be in the plot versus the career choice. Get what I'm saying there? So everything else, I mean, it was good. It was good to see them together. It was good to see the chemistry. But, it just didn't have that thing for me. I don't know. It wasn't one of those movies that I just loved. And I love both of them. I love Steven and I love Kat. But it just wasn't one of those movies that I loved. And then another part of it that was a little frustrating for me was the fact that, Steven's character kept saying, well, I work for my dad and I can't disappoint my dad. And we rebel against our parents all the time, So to me, it just took him, it's like well over half the movie when he finally realizes, oh, wait a minute, he can walk his own path and he can do the things that he loves to do, and while still, benefiting his father. So you don't have to abandon that relationship. You just kind of approach it in a different way. So for me, I don't want to give away the whole thing, but honestly, if you watch Hallmark movies, you kind of know how this goes. So what I would say is, so for me, I would probably give this, So let me take a step back. This movie does have like a lot of like Christmas scenery. You definitely feel like this is a Christmas movie. You definitely, there's just Christmas scenery, there's snow, there's all the good stuff, right? It definitely does not feel like a summer movie with a Christmas tree in the background to make it feel like Christmas. This definitely feels like it's like cold and in the middle of the season, right? So the scenery part they nailed down, right? But to me, where they could have found some magic is in the plot, and that is the part that to me was not as new as I would have hoped. So for that reason, I give A Little Christmas Market I would say a 3.5 to 3.7. It's not quite a 4 for me. Definitely not a 4 for me, but it's definitely a 3.5, 3.7 out of 5, which is not bad. It's just not, great. And I would say that definitely this is a watchable movie, right? I would say I might even rewatch this once or twice, but it's probably not going to be one of those movies like The 9 Lives of Christmas or Next Stop Christmas, where literally every time they come on, I watch them. I make it a point to sit there and watch the movie because I love them that much. So it's not going to be that kind of movie for me, but it's definitely good. So definitely check out A Little Christmas Market. I think there is a lot of good in it. There's definitely some lessons in it. But again, for me, a twist in the plot, a little bit, just a twist here or there would have been welcome in my experience. So that is that. All right. So now it is time to get into the lineup coming for week 3 of Christmas in July. I'm really excited about this lineup. They've got a lot of good movies happening. So we're in Tuesday now, unfortunately, because, already I've had a weird week. I've been more productive in my writing, but, at the expense, it's like you only have so much time in a day. So if you get into one thing like writing, then you don't do other things like your podcast. All right. So starting today is Tuesday. Take Me Back for Christmas is how the day starts. And I believe that is at 10 o'clock. A Season for Family. A Picture Perfect Christmas. The Secret Gift of Christmas. Not one of my favorite movies. Just, you know what? That movie is like a gift wrap Christmas on Lifetime. And personally, I like a gift wrap Christmas better. They're almost the same movie. They're almost the same exact movie, except for they have different stars. But the storyline is super similar. But I like a gift wrap Christmas better, which, doesn't happen all the time, but it definitely did happen in this instance. Then we have Our Holiday Story. That's with Nikki DeLoach and Warren Christie. Love that movie. And then the movie of the day is The Most Wonderful Time of the Year. I love it. This is one of those movies. Now, this is an old movie, right? But I watch it every time it comes out. Never miss it. Love it so much. All right. And so Wednesday, The Snow Must Go On. Believe in Christmas. I like that one. That's Megan Ory's in that movie with her husband, John Reardon. So I think it was like their one time, like, that I've seen on Hallmark anyway, doing a movie together. And they're married. So, and I want to say maybe the second married couple that I've seen actually do a movie together that I've seen, right? It's maybe not the first time it happened, but it's the first time that I've seen. All right. A Christmas Together with You comes on, I love that movie. Small Town Christmas. Absolutely love that movie. That's Ashley and Christopher Palaha. Ashley Newborough and Christopher Palaha star in that movie. Rocky Mountain Christmas follows that up with, Christopher Palaha in that movie. And then Old Little Christmas Market, as I just finished talking to you. So if you haven't seen Old Little Christmas Market, you can watch it again tomorrow. All right. Thursday. Thursday is another lazy day. So I think last Thursday was a lazy day. This Thursday, also a lazy day, which tells you this woman has filmed a lot of movies for Hallmark, because she can have days and you cannot watch the same movie twice. All right. So the lazy part of the day doesn't kick in until later in the afternoon, but the early part of it, we've got an Ice Palace Christmas. That was a Hallmark Plus original that they eventually moved to Hallmark. Flipping for Christmas, Ashley Newborough again. And then we've got a lazy day for the rest of the day. We've got A Christmas Melody, A Wish for Christmas, The Sweetest Christmas, and A Royal Christmas. And that's truly a classic. I love that movie. So I will probably watch that one. Friday is Royal Day. I mean, it's just all these royalty movies. So it starts out with Godwink, Meant for Love. I love that movie. That's one with Cindy Busby and Ben Hollingsworth. I love that movie. So I love pretty much all the Godwinks. There are some Godwinks I like better than other Godwinks. This is one of those. Okay, and the original Godwink with Paul Campbell and Kimberly Susted. I hope they play it. They haven't played it yet. But that's still my favorite. The first is my favorite. Okay, that's followed up with Time for Them to Come Home for Christmas. Them. So this is not us, me, whatever. It's them, right? So this is the one with Jesse Schramm and Brendan Penny. I love this one. I love this version. This one. I like the first one, and these are my favorites. I like all the rest of them, but those two are my favorites, which is Them and Me. All right. So then we kick off with the royalty marathon. So A Sweet Holiday Romance with Jessie Schramm. She plays in this one. A Not So Royal Christmas with Brooke D'Orsay and Will Kemp. One Royal Holiday. I love this movie mostly for the dress. If you like dresses, formal dresses with pockets, this is your movie. Love it. A Royal Montana Christmas and A Royal Queen's Christmas. So lots of royal on Friday. Now, also on Friday, like I told you guys earlier, you have Hallmark Family. So we have A Merry Christmas Match, Christmas in Evergreen, Jingle Around the Clock. One of my absolute favorite Christmas song, Christmas List and Christmas at Cartwright's. So Christmas List and Christmas at Cartwright's are Alicia Witt's movies, and I love Alicia Witt. So, I might be watching more Hallmark Family on Friday than I'm watching Hallmark, but they don't care as long as I'm on one of their channels. And then Saturday, oh my gosh, Saturday is loaded with good movies. So we've got A Shoe Addict's Christmas, A Season for Miracles, The Christmas Note. That's one of my favorite movies. Oh my gosh, now that is like a Christmas classic to me. Debbie McComber's Dashing Through the Snow. My Grown-Up Christmas List. I like that movie. Yeah, that's with Kayla and Kevin, okay? I love them together. Obviously, great chemistry. They're married. They have a baby. So, chemistry, great. Just one little tweak in that. One little tweak. They could have made her a military photographer. One little tweak in that makes it a much better movie for me. But they didn't do that, unfortunately. So it's probably not one of my favorites, even though I love the characters. The plot is what kind of turned me off for that one. Tidings for the Season. I believe that's the one with Tamara Mowry in it. We Met in December, one of my favorites from last year. I want to say it's definitely in my top 10. And then we have the new movie, Snowbound for the Holidays, with Mark Rosner and Vanessa Langes. I can never say her name right. I have to hear somebody say it once, and then I'll get it. But until then, I'll butcher it. It's Langes or Langes. I like her. Like, she plays some quirky characters, right? So I like her. And she played in one of the movies that from earlier in the week, Tuesday, Take Me Back for Christmas. She also played in that one. So I can't wait to see that movie. And then Christmas Under Construction with Daniel Lissing and Jessica Lowndes plays after that. And then Sunday, we've got so much going on. So I'm hoping to have the show done on Sunday, but if I don't this week, you'll at least get the lineup. Catch Me If You Claus. I love that movie. Round and Round. Love it. Holiday Mismatch. Great. One Christmas Eve. I'm telling you, I was so heartbroken over Anne Hesh's passing and her accident and everything. So I haven't been able to watch any movies with Anne Hesh since then, but I'm going to try again. I'm going to try again this Sunday. After One Christmas Eve is 'Twas the Date Before Christmas. You know, that one I'm kind of on the fence for. I wanted that main character to be, her goofier, and she wasn't. Probably more serious than I expected. All I Need for Christmas. That's from Mallory Jansen. She sings in that one. So, it's like she just got off the riches, right? She's like gorgeous and she can sing. I mean, kind of too much. And then Christmas Getaway. I love Christmas Getaway. That's one of my favorite movies. That's with, I think it's Bridget Reardon is in this one. Love it. And Travis Van Winkle. It was a great movie. Snowbound for the Holidays. Of course, we know that is premiered from the previous day. And then we had A Very Merry Mix-Up after that one. Love that movie. A Very Merry Mix-Up with Alicia Witt. Of course, she played early in the week. And I would say Friday, right? That's the Hallmark Family. 2 movies back to back. Well, A Very Merry Mix-Up, they're going to put on the Hallmark Channel on Sunday. And then I love this one, Never Kiss a Man in a Christmas Sweater with Ashley Williams. Love that movie. All right. So Ashley Williams and Nam Mater are in that movie together. So I love it. Anyway. So that is it for the rundown for the rest of this week. It sounds like a fantastic lineup. So I'm going to take a quick break. But when I come back, I will be talking Christmas movies new for Countdown to Christmas in 2026. Stay with me.
Now available on paperback and an ebook, the hilarious romantic comedy The 12 Days of Christmas by USA Today best-selling author K.L. Brady. Both recovering from heartbreak, Gabby and Dave fall for each other after Dave sends a misdirected text message to the wrong woman. It's a comedy of errors when they try to meet face to face. Murphy's Law strikes and they may never see or speak to each other again. However, Gabby thinks Dave may be the one, so she accepts the mission to unite them before Christmas Day. Now she's got 8 days and 12 days to find the man of her dreams. But Dave is hiding something. 3 big things. Even if Gabby finds them, will his secrets keep them apart? Rediscover all the joy and wonder of the Christmas season when you pick up this heartwarming story today. To find out more about the 12 Days of Christmas, visit klbradyauthor.com or pick up your copy at Amazon, Apple, Kobo, or Barnes & Noble today. And now it's time for
And welcome back to Chicks on Christmas Flicks. In the previous segment, I chatted about Christmas in July and the lineup for this week. In this segment, I'm going to discuss Christmas movies that are coming out for Countdown to Christmas this year. So, the first movie I want to talk about is Christmas Delivered. Christmas Delivered is an upcoming 2026 Hallmark Christmas movie starring Autumn Reeser and Wes Brown. I don't know if you guys saw the trailer for Countdown to Christmas, but they are in the trailer. So it was hard to miss that they're going to have a Christmas movie this week. So it was funny. The movie originally came out as Treeber. So if you've been tracking Treeber, it is now Christmas Delivered. So we got the first look, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this one. I really don't have a lot of details in terms of the plot, but with Autumn Reeser and Wes Brown, like, you don't get a bad movie out of that, right? So it's going to be good. So it's just a matter of getting more details. So I will be tracking that one. As soon as I get more details, I'll tell you about it. All right. So the next movie is Double Con Christmas. Double Con Christmas stars Victor Webster as Ridge Thompson, right? The son of the owner of this Breckenridge Ski Lodge, and Amanda Schull stars as Lexi Chambers, a hard-working single mother and catering business owner. Okay, and then Barbara Nivens is in this. I love her so much. Barbara Niven plays June Chambers, right? So she's Amanda's mom, Lexi's free-spirited mother, and the architect of the holiday matchmaking scheme. So I think we know where this is going. So the plot of the movie is this. Lexi Chambers is a devoted single mother who runs a thriving catering company, leaving little room in her life for romance and even time with her teenage daughter. Just before Christmas, her mother, June, persuades Lexi and her daughter to take an unexpected trip to the historic Breckenridge Lodge. Lexi believes it's simply a holiday getaway, but June has another agenda. June has secretly rekindled a romance with the lodge's owner, Dan Thompson, and the two decide to play matchmaker and bring their adult children, Lexi and Dan's son, Ridge, together. At first, Lexi and Ridge clash. Of course, enemies to lovers romance, right? Gonna love this. Ridge believes he can manage the lodge's anniversary celebrations himself, while Lexi has been brought in to help organize the lodge's 50th Christmas festivities. As they work together planning seasonal events, of course they don't want to work together, but they're working together, and they're going to find some common ground. But that's my prediction. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie yet. Christmas celebrations and an escape room attraction for guests. Their initial friction gradually turns to mutual respect, and then so on and so on. All right. So, that sounds like something I love enemies to lovers. That theme, that trope is like one of my most favorite tropes. I love it. All right. I'm not going to say any more about that, even though I have more. I'm not going to say more. I'm going to leave it at that and make you want to see it that much more. All right. Number 3 is Christmas in Canterbury with Will Kemp and Jesse Schramm. So, Jesse Schramm is back. All right. So, the plot, they have not really released the plot yet, but based on the title and the film's English setting, the story is expected to center on Christmas in the historic city of Canterbury, England, likely featuring its famous cathedral, Christmas market, and medieval streets as the backdrop for a holiday romance. Let me tell you something. I know that's going to be gorgeous. So I can't wait for that to come out. All right, number 4. The fourth movie I want to talk about this week is the Christmas Eve Feast. All right, the Christmas Eve Feast. So, who's supposed to be in this movie? Kevin McGarry and Daniela Monet. Those are supposed to be the stars. And apparently, the film will center around the Italian-American Christmas Eve tradition known as the Feast of the Seven Fishes, a celebration in which families gather on Christmas Eve to share a multi-course seafood dinner before Christmas Day. So, I'm really excited about this. I love movies with those traditions that, like, they're based on like real family traditions. I love those movies. I love those types of movies. I love kind of being educated on what other people do for Christmas. So, so that is going to do it for today. I think that was the last movie. I do have more movies to talk about, which I will talk about in the next episode, right? Including Forgetting Christmas, which is going to be Daniel Lissing's like second movie of the year. I'm really excited to get more details about that. I don't have them right now, but he did announce that he was starting filming another Christmas movie for Hallmark starting July 6th. So literally he's filming right now. But we know it only takes 3 weeks to make a Hallmark movie. So, and I say only, probably doesn't feel like that for the actors that actually have to do it. But for me, and knowing that some movies take a year and longer to make, 3 weeks they've got the system down. Okay. They roll those puppies in and out and probably don't cost a whole lot to make. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for this lineup in Countdown to Christmas this year. And there's so many other movies and so many other streamers that are going to be delivering Christmas movies, including Lifetime, which we don't have like the full lineup of TV. We don't have the full lineup. The BETs, TV ones, the Netflixes, the blah, 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 go on and on. I don't have the full lineups for those, but as they come out, I will definitely be sharing them with you. Thank you to my show editor, Will B. He created all the custom music for this show. He's at Wildcard Music, and you can find his IG page in the show notes. Until next time, like at Chicks on Christmas Flicks, we can never have too many Christmas movies. We can only have not enough Christmas movies. Please don't forget to subscribe, leave a review on your favorite platform, and tell your Christmas movie loving friend about the show. Where can you find us? I'm so happy you asked. Podcast platforms: Amazon, Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, and many, many more. You can follow the show on Twitter and IG at Chicks Christmas Flicks. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.